Hello, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to our live feed update for October 17th. I'm your host, Taran Armstrong, and I'm here today to update you on everything that happened yesterday on the Big Brother 25 live feeds. It was day 76 in the house, and we had a veto ceremony, a big blind side, as you can see if you're watching the video version of this, and some drama and some talking. So we're going to talk through all of that here today. And with me to talk through it all is Chantele. How you doing, Chantele?
I'm doing really well, and I'm actually I've been revitalized into the season. Like things are moving again, and it's like we had this lull, and it's kind of like just a blip. Like that lull, it's gone, and like we're back in. And so I'm excited to talk about how things have shifted in this game.
So here we are, of course, Jag, the invisible, but not really just entirely visible HOH. And he nominated Blue and Felicia for eviction, but Blue won one of the two vetoes. He won the other one. And so he had to pivot and put Cory and America on the block. That was the plan coming into day 76. And there really wasn't much that happened before the veto. So, that's what happened. It's at the veto ceremony. Cory and America went up on the block, and there was apparently some drama, some fighting, some arguments. But by the time the feeds came back up, they were over. And we were just getting people retelling parts of what was happening in the arguments that America got into it with Blue and maybe some other people. But we're gonna have to wait until the very condensed version of it on the episode.
Do you think that they're actually going to show us the fight? I feel like they might be just going to leave it out, you know?
We'll see. We'll see like 30 seconds of it.
I want to see the whole thing. The whole thing. Just because like the for the most part, Cory and America were just kind of schmoopy in the bed, crying in the bed. So I want to see like the energized reaction to this. So hopefully they don't leave it on the cutting room floor and they allow us to see a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the feeds came back. Cory and America are on the block. America is fully in bed under the covers. And Jag, Matt, and Blue are upstairs in the have-not room, hiding away, and hyping themselves up about that we did a good job. That was yeah. I can't believe they came after us like that. But they're definitely in the wrong.
Yeah, and I think like I understand why they're because they've had so much power and they've hadn't had to really strategize and like so they've had these alliances with Korea and America and they've turned on them, but like they feel like they can do no wrong because they've just always had some power. They haven't really had to well, other than being evicted, but they haven't really had to see the repercussions of their actions. And so I get it. Like they're just kind of skewed with like how people are going to react to people making moves. But it's kind of hilarious that like they did. It's almost like they didn't expect them to have a reaction. Of course, they're going to have a reaction. Like obviously.
This is what makes Big Brother so interesting. These are the people that have been in power, untouchable for over a month. And they've been playing everyone, lying to everyone, betraying multiple friends and allies. And the second that somebody finally is like, off, they're like,
Literally.
how dare you? How dare you? We have done nothing wrong. You brought this on yourself. I can't believe you would dare. Making things so uncomfortable. Oh.
But like it's like exactly that. And it's so like
Real life.
in real life. It's so real life. But like it's interesting that like they can't understand why they would have a reaction. This is a reaction. Like I don't even think they're well, we didn't see the fight, but like I don't even think the reaction after they came back from the feeds came back. Like I don't even think that it was overblown. Like I've seen a lot worse reactions for a lot less. Like this is terrible for them. And like they know one of them is going home and they have no chance of saving both of them. And that really sucks. And the fact that they can't see that, they think it's like blasphemy. How dare they? is hilarious.
In the meantime, Cory is, I guess, out of the diary room, wherever he was. He comes back to the bed where America is under the covers. She's been crying. He gets under the covers. He says, "What do you want to do?" And she says, "Die." And then the feeds come.
Now, I don't know what's worse, America and Cory kissing when they're happy and
We're
in a
not
new
even.
relationship, or sad, schmoopy, like it's like crying,
You just know tears are
snotty,
in the. You tasting tears on the
snot,
kiss. Like,
tears,
yeah.
kissy, sad. Like I don't know what's worse.
Um. Cory leaves again. Sirie comes by, and Sirie's actually like one of the first people over there from when the feeds come back. And she's of course doing her Sirie thing, being very comforting, hugging America. America asks like, "When did you know?" Sirie says, "I was told late last night, but obviously I didn't know for sure until it happened. Like people lie all the time in this house." But obviously, I'm glad it's not me. But I'm so sorry about this everything. And she hugs her, and it's all nice. And she says, "Yeah, they all knew. Everyone knew." And she's like, "Okay, thank you." It's really just getting those seeds in.
First.
Hmm.
Like, why people don't realize that, like, hey, like one of these two are going to be staying, and most likely it's going to be America. Let's maybe soften the blow a little bit and like go to work. And Suri instinctually just automatically goes up and does this for America. And I think it's going to be really helpful because, well, hopefully we'll get like America on like a rampage and like just coming back, winning competitions and taking out our enemies. And Suri won't be one of her enemies. And so that could be a really fun scenario.
Hmm. Cory's gonna talk to Bowie. That's where he left. He went to go talk to Bowie. This has been the big thing. He has completely misjudged Bowie, completely read her wrong, and he's gonna go and talk to her. I'm confused, Bowie. Like, what's going? From what it sounds like from the arguments, it seems like they thought that I was coming after them, but that wasn't the case. And so I'm just confused about like what was said. It sounds like America might have said something to Blue, like, "Do you know?" And Bowie's like, "I don't know. I don't know anything." He's like, "Did you know? Did you like? When did you find out?" She says, "Oh, I had an inkling last night that it might be you. I didn't know it'd be both you in America, though. So, don't know." Um,
And you
Corey
think
says,
alarm bells were going to be going off with like, oh, I had an inkling and I thought it would be you. And I said, zip.
"You'd think alarm bells would be going off at this point, but they are not yet."
It's dormant.
Corey says, "Well, from my perspective, it's the Jedi that are evil." But also, he was always looking at the three of them, him, America, and Bowie, as his final three. And he always told the most amount of information to Bowie after obviously America. And she's basically like, "Well, that's kind of news to me, because I never felt like we had a final three. It felt like you maybe alluded to it a couple times." And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't want to like do anything official, but I always saw it as like once we got to the final five, I was always going to take a shot at Matt and Jag, and then my ideal final three was you and America." Um, and she's like, "Okay, yeah. I also feel like what did you tell me that was confidential? Because I feel like we don't talk much."
It's just like, why do you think that he has such a skewed understanding of their relationship? Like, if he hasn't made it clear that they're they're in a final three, they haven't named it, obviously. Like, he doesn't offer up any information. They don't do any strategizing. Is it just kind of like the camera effect? It's like when I decide something in my mind, it means that it's true. Like, I just don't get. They don't have the relationship that he's alluding to.
I mean, this is the thing. He when talking to Sirie about this later, he refers to his relationship with Bowie, and he's done this multiple times. He always goes all the way back to the red vote. He's like, yeah, well, the thing is that on the red vote, we were like, she told me that I was the only one that was honest with her. So like
Like
we've had this
6 weeks ago?
relationship ever since. And yeah, the red vote was like, what, day 30 something? Like, dude, there's been more days since the red vote than before the red vote. What do you mean? This is like your evidence that you have Bowie, as she says to you. Oh, you're saying that you wanted to go final 3 with her. You're saying that you wanted to target Matt and Jag at final. You never said any of that to her. You never brought her into an alliance. You never told her any of your plans. You never talked to her about any of these things. Like, how do you think you still had her? Other people got in. Just because you were there first doesn't mean you have dibs on Bowie. Other people got there too and just actually gave her more. So you lost her a long time ago and you never saw it because you didn't talk to her.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he hasn't really been building any the relationships that he thinks that he's been building since him and America got a little bit closer. Because it's like he doesn't see past his little bubble. Like all of the relationships that he thinks that he has, he doesn't have any of them, and he lost his entire positioning in the game. Like he was pretty situated pretty well, and his mind just got all skewed.
Yeah, I maintain this. I think that Cory's biggest mistake in the game has been how he handled Bowie, thinking that he had Bowie, telling other people multiple times throughout the game, I have Bowie, when he didn't even have Bowie. The fact that he loses Bowie and then is still relying on her to be the thing that prevents Matt and Jag from targeting him, be the reason why he trusts Matt and Jag wouldn't target him because he still thinks he's got Bowie. Bowie should have been the barometer that exposed the fact that he doesn't have Matt and Jag anymore. The second Bowie turns on Cory, he should have been talking to her enough. He should have had the relationship with her to realize Bowie's acting differently with me now. I have a different, the nature of my relationship with Bowie has changed. What's going on? Talking to Bowie about it, figuring out maybe that somebody's gotten into her ear, that something has changed. And if he had found out weeks ago that Matt and Jag had turned Bowie against him, he could have been playing for weeks entirely differently. But instead, he just continued to assume that he had Bowie.
Poor thing. I think it's his youth. I think if he came back and played a second time, he will rectify all of his errors here, and he will be more focused on the game because he's definitely has been distracted, in my opinion. And I really do wish, because we had a lot of high hopes for Cory at the very beginning of the game. Like he really did seem to know how to navigate the game quite well, and then it kind of stopped at around day 42 or whatever.
No, it was a little before that.
Oh, I don't know which days they're, but you know what I mean.
Jag and Matt are going to talk. Jag wants to get the 5 of them, himself, Matt, Blue, Cory, and America, all into a room so that they can talk it all out. It's too awkward. He just wants it all out there, hashed out. Basically, he wants Blue to give them all the reasons so they can fight Blue, and then he can be like, see, we're good, right? Okay? Don't be mad at me. It's what Blue said. And that's when America, who has been crying under the covers, needs to get up to go to the bathroom. They're in the bathroom. So she goes to the bathroom. She comes out. She's washing her hands. And Jag says, so when do you want to talk some more? And she says, literally off. And then walks away. And Jag's like, ooh, I guess off then. Oh, man.
Has he never had anybody react to something that he's done? Like, it's like, of course she's gonna be like, F off. Like, I wouldn't expect anything less. I'm happy that she said it. Like, I was like, oh, there's fiery America. Let's give it.
And his reaction to this is to immediately go upstairs and confront Cory, who's talking to Bowie. And he says, Cory, I would like the 5 of us to get together to have a conversation. But if America's going to tell me to off, then, I'm not going to take that kind of disrespect. And Cory's like, did she say that? Are you saying she said that? Like, I'm sorry, I guess. But it might be best to give America some space. She might need some time. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, this is gross. Don't go to Cory is not her keeper. Like, Cory is not in
You control
control of
your woman.
America. Yes, exactly. Like don't go to Cory being like tattling that America told you to off and you're not going to take that kind of disrespect. So like the implication there is like get her in line. And it's a little more than an implication, as he will later punish Cory for not doing so, and then complain about Cory for not doing so later in the night. Listen, Jag, this, the bad boy look on you is not good.
Well, also, like him making moves, he doesn't know how to handle making a move. And even if maybe it says it's a good move. Maybe this is why he's fumbling so much, because like he's pretty confident in making bad moves, and so maybe because he made a good move, this is why he's not able to handle America and her reaction.
Um, so Cory goes downstairs. He does ask because Cory wants to talk. He's like, I want to figure out what exactly was said. I would love to like have a conversation. You just, backstabbed me. I'd love to know why. And so he goes to America. He's like, so they want to talk to you. Do you want to talk? She says, no. He's like, oh, okay. And he goes back upstairs where Matt, Jag, and Blue are all patiently waiting in the have-not room. And he comes in and he's like, sorry, guys. I should have checked with America first. She doesn't want to talk. But I'm here to talk. So we can have the conversation. And Jag says, nope. Like, what do you mean? Nope. We're not gonna have this conversation if you can't get America here. It's like, I mean, listen, I'm here to talk. Like, I would love to hear you out and like hash this out. Nope. No, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't have
Not with
this
that. We're not gonna have
conversation
this
twice.
conversation more than once.
Yeah.
Or he's like, I mean, do you want to do like one-on-ones? Like, oh no. No. Talking without my friends here? No. That's how we got into this mess in the first place. Everyone needs to be present. If you can't get America here, then we're not going to have this conversation. And Cory's like, it's all right. I mean, I guess I'll talk at you then. Like, I just like, I don't want things to be awkward. Like, I still like you guys. I want to be able to hang out. I don't really understand what the justification for this move is, but it's cool. I'm fine. Just, from my perspective, like, we're all good. It's, it sucks, obviously, but I guess we'll talk at some point. And they're like, okay.
Did they forget also that both America and Cory will be on the jury? Like, unless they're sitting beside each other, Matt and Jag, like it's really possible that people could be bitter about this particular move if you don't kind of caress it and like make them feel better about you stabbing them in the back.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic example of terrible jury management where it probably won't matter because A, it's Cory, and B, they're winning all the comps anyway. So I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, if you're like a future player, don't act this way. But unfortunately, the nature of how this game works is as long as you win 7 competitions, you're fine anyway.
Sucks.
So Cory says, well, Matt, can I talk to you? And of course, Matt, who is not bad at the game, is like, sure. Cory says, so what's going on? Like, is it something America said? Because the first thing she said to me after this happened was, I'm sorry. Which implies to me that maybe she said something to Blue. That seems to be what happened in the argument that they were talking about that. Matt says, yeah, it seems like it really wasn't something you did. It's something she did, and you're kind of being punished for it. And he's like, okay, well, like, am I the target, or is it like still up in the air? Like, you can tell me. And Matt's like, oh, I think it's still up in the air. And so Cory's like, okay, so I'm the target. Cory explains what he was going to do. He was going to stick to the 5, and then he was going to take the shot. He felt like that was fine because he can win those mental comps in the end, and he would have been able to have a shot at HOH or veto at 5. And then even if he survives that HOH or veto at 4, he would have been happy with that setup. He doesn't know what America was saying, but that was his plan. That was what he was going to do. And Matt's like, okay, yeah, that sure. And they keep talking it through. Matt keeps blaming America for it. Cory says a lot about like, this is weird. I'm obviously campaigning to stay. But and he's going to repeat this throughout the day. I care more about America than I do about this game. I'm not here to throw America under the bus. So on and so forth. Like, I don't blame America for talking to Blue. Like, I'm not trying to pin this on her. I'm just trying to make my own case for why I should stay. And he tells Matt that like he's not exactly sure what he's going to say yet, who he's going to say he's going after, but he's going to have one story and he's going to stick to it. And so that's the gist of it.
Is there anything that he could do to actually get himself to stay? Like, he's unable to have a conversation without America being there. And so, and one-on-ones only with Matt, it seems. Like, is there something that Cory can do to be able to stay in the game? Or is it just like a done deal, do you think?
Well, so I've been saying, I think for Matt and Jag, it makes some sense to say we want to keep Cory because America is a lot less likely to be targeted by Sirie,
Right.
Felicia, and even Blue to some degree. Blue is a lot more likely to target Cory next week than she is America, even though she is still somewhat likely to target America. Because, A, Cory doesn't have as good a relationship with Blue, and B, he's more of a threat in their eyes. He's somebody that they still have to get out before the final 2, whereas America is somebody that Sirie or Felicia or even Blue could happily take to the final 2 and win. Cory is somebody that they can't really take to the final 2 and win because of the perception. And so leaving Cory in the game is just another roadblock in the way of other people, and more roadblocks means it's more difficult to take the shot at them. It's why Cory should have kept Mimi 2 weeks ago. So there's a good argument for that. And there's also the argument that the thing they're worried about is that not only will Blue, Sirie, and Felicia not target America, but they could team up with America and all go after them next week. Whereas, that's a little more difficult with Cory. So there's reason for them to maybe turn this vote around, and they have the power to do so. If they say we want Cory to stay, and they tell Sirie, they tell Bowie, they tell Blue, they'll probably get their way. It's not really worth it to defy Jag and Matt just to keep, America. So that would be my play. I think that this vote is a lot less likely to flip if you don't have Jag and Matt. And I think there's a good argument to Jag and Matt. It's not really the pitch Cory's going for, though, as we'll find out soon. So we'll talk through Cory's pitch in just a second. But that would be my pitch. I think that's his most likely chance to stay.
Yeah, I want him to come up with this, I feel as though he did get kind of like America did talk, and like it did kind of put them in this position, and like the fact that he's more of a threat, he's likely going to go out before her. And so I want to see him fight, but like I don't think he'll come up with it because of the fact that he doesn't want to go against America. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to go against her. Like that's pretty much it. And he still wants to play the game, but he said like it's not worth ruining his relationship with America for $750,000. I'm like, it's not. What do you mean? Like, you can fix a relationship. Like, she will understand if you win the game. Like at the end. Like, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like there's a path that where he could say, I had nothing to do with what, and he's close to it. He said, I have nothing to do with what America was talking to Blue about. Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie. America has been trying to tell me that like we need to do something about you guys. I've been saying no. I've been saying we need to get to the 5. Clearly, she was annoyed about that. She went to Blue behind my back to try to get Blue to take the shot because she knew I wouldn't. And I completely understand why you did this because you found out about that. And I get it. But like the thing is, I know that there's no path forward in this game without you two. And if I stay, I am firmly still on your side. There are still big threats to my game that are in the way. And I know I can't get to the end without the help of you two. So I will firmly continue to be on your side. If you keep me around, I will be indebted to you that you have forgiven me the sins of my girlfriend, essentially. Don't say it that way because you don't want to seem like a jerk. But like that is the message of that pitch, I think. Instead, what he's telling to Matt is, you'd never believe me if I told you I wasn't coming after you, right?
They would. They're looking to be
They absolutely
absolved
would.
of their like sins here. Like they are just hurting so much the fact that like they made a move and that anybody is upset with them. Like they easily would be like, oh, okay, like I was worried, but like thank you so much for making me feel better about this. Like that's all they want. Lie.
So Cory goes back to America, and she's apologizing more. She says, "This is my fault. I want you to stay." And he says, "Don't say that." And then they start making out.
I never thought you were gonna play like sounds of them kissing. No.
I would never do that. Cory goes to Sirie, and he tells her the whole story. He says, Matt and Jag, they told me the Jag was the HOH Friday morning. She goes, oh, really? Yes, I was in an alliance with them, with Bowie, and I'm conflicted about it, but I am campaigning for myself. And they talk a long time about like his conflicting emotions about this whole situation, so on and so forth. He says, here's what I'm doing. I'm going for you, Felicia, and Bowie's votes. I'm confident. I'm very confident I can get Bowie. Like, why? Like, I've had a great relationship with Bowie since the red vote. So those are the 3 votes he's going for. He's also going to talk to Blue. Maybe Blue could be a 4th vote. And it's just like, this is just all wrong. Like, he will never get Bowie if Matt and Jag don't co-sign it. So if he really wanted an anti-Matt and Jag contingent vote, it would have to be Blue, Sirie, and Felicia. And even that is just so tough because why would they piss Matt and Jag off, who are both competing in the HOH next week, and Bowie, for the sake of Cory? It's not really, especially when like they're still targeting America anyway. Like, it's not really that worth it. And so,
and it's
like,
not like he's been winning all these competitions and this is just the one that he lost. It's like he hasn't been a comp threat at all. And so it's kind of like, the people that have been winning most of the competitions, I'm going to stick with them because the chances are they're going to be winning more competitions where they could be, annoyed that we went against them, put us up and take us out. So sorry, Cory, like the thought that you're going to be amazing at these mental comps at the end is not enough for them to want to turn on the physical threats.
Yeah, and like Cory has been outperforming Matt and Jag in mental competitions, but so has Felicia and Sirie and America. Like, everybody's outperforming them in mental comps because they haven't performed particularly well in mental comps. The problem is that mental comps aren't really coming up. But it's not like that's really the call here. But that's like the pitch is wrong. Bowie's never going to do it. It has to be the other 3. And even then, it's a tough road because why would they stick their necks out? But this is what he's going for initially: Bowie, Sirie, and Felicia. Sirie says, I appreciate you talking to me, so on and so forth. Great conversation. Cory comes out of this conversation feeling like he has Sirie. Of course, Sirie is then going to go immediately to Matt and tell her that Cory's campaigning and that Cory's got to go.
I mean, I appreciate Cory making an effort, and I feel like when I'm watching him campaign and even just speak about the game, like he's trying to appear to be really confident and that like, you know, he's not scared that he's going to be leaving. And I think that also this like kind of fake confidence that he has about his position in the game is why he's being skewed a little bit about not being able to read Sirie. Like he knows Sirie is really good at this game and he's been wanting to get her out for a while and doesn't fully trust her and wants to eventually turn on her and like immediately just believes exactly like whatever she says and that she's on his side, and he doesn't really have any evidence of that being true. She didn't even say that.
Yeah.
At all.
Sirie's probably the person he has the least. I mean, of the three he's going after, he has Bowie the least, Sirie the second least. He hasn't even talked to Felicia yet, but he has Felicia more than he has Bowie or Sirie. So Matt tells Sirie that when Cory was talking to him, Cory was saying that he was going to say he's going after Sirie and Felicia, which is not what Cory said. It might have been he might have been just trying to lie to Sirie to get her to go after Cory. She says it doesn't matter. She doesn't believe this. Cory is more dangerous anyway. Matt agrees. He says, I'm just trying to get to, he says, Cory is just trying to make it enough weeks to get to those mental comps where he's going to win out. We can't let him do that. She says,
what if though, Taran, what if we're all wrong, you're completely wrong, and they go back to the mental comps being, the defining competitions?
I would be extremely pleased, and they will still have been wrong to expect it because there's no reason to expect it.
You're right.
She wants to get into a room with Matt and Jag together and just decide and just be done with it. No back and forth this week. Matt says, I agree. Cory's going to go to Blue, and he makes a pitch to Blue. It's very similar to the one he gave to Sirie. He gives her the download about how he played in Path to... Oh, sorry. He also told Sirie I played in Path to Power. She already knew. He tells Blue I played in Path to Power. She already knew, I'm pretty sure. And he says, I've been working with Matt and Jag since the Izzy vote. We've been in a 5-person thing. If you keep me, I'll go after them. That's a simple pitch. Blue appreciates the conversation, says Jared always told her that he'd rather have somebody in the game that he knew was coming after her, like Cory, than somebody that he can't predict, like America. Of course, it's funny because when he was talking about this, he was actually talking about Cory as the unpredictable element. But Blue is receptive to the idea. She's going to go and talk to Bowie. And she's like, hey, what do you think about the vote? Bowie's like, yeah, I'm not sure. They kind of go back and forth a little bit. Bowie immediately rats this out to Matt and Jag, who's like, hey, Blue's thinking about keeping Cory. They're like, no way would she actually keep Cory. But Blue is thinking about it. Cory's going to make a pitch to Felicia too. It's all the same pitch. Felicia then tells everybody about the pitch, and Blue's like, oh, wow, I can't believe he's pitching that to you. And it's all just a mess, but it doesn't really matter yet because the real conversations are coming.
Absolutely. I mean, it's also wild to me the thoughts about gameplay with. Of course, people like you've seen how it's been waffling back and forth since the very beginning of the season. Like the votes were flipping back and forth, and so the fact that she's entertaining the idea, like it seems quite normal to just weigh out all your options. Doesn't mean that you're actually going to be going one way or that you completely flipped on them. Like it's like you're just weighing out your options. It's kind of annoying that like she can't consider anything else without seeming like she's being a turncoat.
Matt and Jag discuss their real plan moving forward, which is that they want to pull Felicia in more, but they don't think that they can trust her with like actual information. But they want her to be loyal to them because they'd prefer a final 5 with Bowie, Sirie, and Felicia. They want America and Blue out next. That's the plan, and they're just trying to figure out the best way to make that plan happen. That's what they're discussing. Sirie and Felicia talk about how Matt and Jag need to go. They need to make sure that Blue doesn't reconcile with them because they need Blue to go after them. And they talk about what they would do if they won. They might go with like a backdoor. They might do like Bowie and America and then backdoor one of them, or just take out Bowie, because at least taking a Bowie out weakens one of them. But obviously, they kind of go back and forth about like, should we just take the shot though, because we need to take one of them out. Because again, at the end of the day, it is tough. There's 3 of them right now. They're all capable of winning competitions. You can only take out one, and the other 2 are coming for you. So it's tough, but they're just discussing the best ways to go about it.
And I think for me, I think that put them both up, because you don't want. Well, I mean, Bowie could maybe take one of them off, and then you could be screwed. But I I think that they're just gonna have to take the shot here, because being too cutesy about it, I think they're just gonna definitely lose out. But I don't know if they're gonna get the chance to, which is just also really frustrating. Like, and I think that they've also kind of come to terms with like, ooh, we might actually not get the power to be able to make these shots. And I'm obviously I'm hoping that they do. Felicia's been close in the last like a couple of competitions ago, so maybe we're gonna get another Felicia HOH, and she's gonna put up Jag and Matt, and one of them is gonna win the veto, keep the noms the same, and take out Jag. And that would really obviously better their shots at getting to the end. But I just don't know if they're gonna get the opportunity, which is also really, really frustrating.
So Sirie talks to Blue as well, and they've both now realized that Bowie is, or at least Blue has finally come around to the idea that Bowie is tight with Matt and Jag. That's what she learned from the Cory conversation, was that like, turns out Bowie's a lot closer to Matt and Jag than I thought, and she's been pushing Bowie to Matt and Jag a lot. So they both agree, don't do that anymore. Don't talk about Bowie to Matt and Jag. That's a no-go. Bowie's got to go. America's got to go, according to Blue. But Blue says, I am also thinking about down the line, Matt and Jag will need to go too. We can't beat them, says Sirie. And Blue says, well, no. Mental comps are coming. So we'll be able to beat them in those mental comps. Sirie says, well, we can't tell anybody about this. And Blue says, absolutely not. I've been keeping this super close. They, I talked to Cory. Like, what do you think? And Sirie's like, it feels like a lost cause. And Blue says, yeah, but, he has a point though. But yeah, we probably can't keep him. Sirie's like, what would we say to Matt and Jak? Like, yeah, that's right. So Blue says, my honor code does want me to, keep Matt and Jag to make top 5, but it's from that point, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna get hard. Like hard. And Sirie's like, exactly. So Blue is definitely more aware than she has seemed in terms of like when she's talking to Felicia. She is still like, she's in my eyes, she's a little conflicted. She knows that Matt and Jag are tough to beat, but her quote unquote honor code is meaning mostly like she likes them, she hates America. She doesn't want to keep America around. Blue has said for a while that she would hate if America made it further in the game than her. And so going after Matt and Jag might be the right move, but it also opens her up to letting America go further than her, letting America get more money than her, and so on and so forth. And so I think that's part of what's holding her back here.
And the fact that Jag just put you on the block, and the only reason why you're still here in the game is because you won this veto. Like, forgot about that. I know that they were friends in the very beginning of the season, and like they were really, really close, but like that's definitely have changed. Like, he put you on the block. That should be, I would think that would trump her whatever animosity with America. But
well, yeah, her honor code means that the people who have been trying to take her out and lying to her and manipulating her, they should stay until the final 5. And the people that were trying to warn her throughout the game, always wanted to work with her to their own detriment, they don't deserve it.
Yeah, need to be punished, need to be taken out. Absolutely. Can't win more money than she can.
And to be fair, America did rat Blue out that one time, but that's because Blue said she wanted to go after her boyfriend.
Were they boyfriend and girlfriend then? I don't know.
I don't know. Cory and America talk. They talk more about her wanting to leave. She says, I want you to win. He says, I don't want you to give up. She says, I don't want to give up either. That would be lame. He tells her about Jag saying that she was disrespectful and that he's not going to take that level of disrespect. And she's like, oh, if he thinks off is disrespectful, I'll show him disrespect. And he's like, as your ally, I have to advise against this.
No, as a fan, America, come on, show him real disrespect, please.
He thinks that he's like, man, we screwed up. We should not have taken Mimi out. And I was like, thank you. She's like, why? Because Mimi was another person that they would have had to deal with. Someone else that they would have had to go after. And they wouldn't have been as free to go after us. And it's like, exactly. That's exactly what I said weeks ago. It still made no sense that he went after Mimi.
Well, and it's like, you know, obviously now that he's seen what has happened, he's able to be like, oh, I guess I made a mistake there. But why wouldn't he have gone through these scenarios when he was taking people out? Like I mean, I would be shuffling around every single scenario. Like, is this good for me? Like, what would happen if this happened? Like, that's all you have to do all day long is run scenarios. I would have ran the scenario that, like, hey, if we take out Mimi, it's going to put us in the firing line more soon. And so it's because he wasn't concerned about the Matt and Jag of it all. He didn't know that they were against him. He thought that he was still good because he trusted in Bowie. It all goes back to Bowie. Bowie is like the thing that tricked Cory. So Jag, Matt, and Blue are going to continue to talk late into the night. And it's just endless trash talking, endless like circle of just self-justification, villainization, just super obnoxious, particularly because they are the ones in power right now, having done the thing. It's just like it's one thing to like be like, okay, well, we really need to like get people to turn on this person. It's another thing to be like, I just betrayed them. They suck. And listen, it's very interesting. It's like, it's so classic Big Brother. It would be much more classic Big Brother if they actually said this to America's face, instead of hiding away and being like, I'm not taking that level of disrespect as I sit in my corner and hide. But Jag is like, the disrespect is all over the streets. It's not disrespectful that you just lied to them and put them up on the block. That's not disrespectful, Jag.
Cory should have gotten America to talk if he wanted to talk. Right, I can only take so much disrespect. I'm not gonna have a one-on-one with him. And Cory's like, get her in a room if you want to talk. Or, hey, we could have talked right there. Why didn't you want to talk? Let's address it right now, bro. Why didn't you want to talk? He didn't even want to say anything.
Yeah, he did.
This happened like a few hours ago, dude. You told him no. What do you mean?
Delusion.
Blue's like, guys, I really want to tell you, my morals tell me that you guys need to get to the final.
She really, like, Blue, come on. Get it together. I mean, it's clear that she's, I don't think, ever seen the show. Like, it's just, do you want to lose? Maybe she just wants to lose, and her moral code is telling her that, like, do you know what? These people have been winning competitions, so that means that they're better game players than me, and they deserve to win the game. Like, maybe that's what their competitions wins have, like, skewed her mind. But it's just, like, it's frustrating.
Yeah, and like there are people that are like first of all, people that are like, this is you're if you're like upset about people trash talking, you should watch old school Big Brother. Like, first of all, it was annoying in old school Big Brother too. People complained during old school Big Brother. It's the whole point is that you get mad at the people who are doing this. That's what it has always been. Second, in old school Big Brother, they would actually get into fights.
Right.
They wouldn't just hide away and complain. they would actually get into confrontations with the other person. That was old school, Big Brother. I know because I was there. How many of you were?
I was. Yeah, that would be nice though if there was like a nice house meeting, house fight, like let's get everything out on the table. Like, let's see. I'd love to see how Jag actually interacted with people, like calling him out in front of other people and like facts and yeah, real disrespect.
So yeah, listen, it's annoying. It's annoying now. It was annoying then, but it's also interesting. And I think it really is like, it speaks so much on how people with power who feel untouchable will act at the slightest bit of retaliation. And how they will just dig down deep into this layer of justification as they villainize their victims and claim that they are the victim. They only prematurely lashed out because it was them that was really the problem. And their reaction to being struck at is only proof that they were right in the first place. This is our society.
100%. And like a lot of times people are like, why do you like reality TV? And I'm like, it's actually because of like these type of situations where you can see like how human beings interact, like human behavior, what happens in certain situations. Like it's very clear what you said about like how having this power has allowed them to kind of have like a skewed reality as to how to deal with the people that they are wronging. And so like I also find it quite fascinating in the human like psychology, like parts of it. So yeah, it is really fascinating. When I'm not looking at like competitions and how you're going to win this game and game strategy, like this is the stuff that I find very interesting.
Yeah, and it's always those people that go on the most about we're the good people.
Oh my God,
morals
it
say that
always
we deserve
happens.
to be in the end.
The good guys.
Matt is always talking about how he's such a good guy. Jag is always talking about how he's such a good guy. How they are the people, and Jag also, they are also the people that when they were on the other side of it, they're bullies.
Bullies.
They're bullies. It's
friendship.
It speaks so much. It speaks so much. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. This is
Agreed.
again, this is part of what I think is so fascinating about the show. So that's where things are. Cory and America on the block. Definitely seems like Cory is the one to go home. The real interesting stuff here is, will Blue really turn on Matt and Jag? Can Sirie get her to turn? What will they do if they do manage to get power? Because of course that's all we have to go on, because if Matt and Jag win, then we already know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, maybe we're gonna have a shakeup, because like what I really want, because there was a lot of conversations with Felicia and Sirie just talking about the game and maybe how things could potentially go, and if they were to win power, what they would do. And I really want to see the two of them in their canary yellow dresses sitting side by side on finale night. And so I'm just like trying to put it out there that there's a path for this to be like if they are able to get to the end as the final two, it's going to be a very interesting end game. So that's kind of what I'm putting my mind into right now. It's like, let's get them there.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you then here today. Of course, there's going to be an episode tonight, and I'll be live watching it. Twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. Listen, we may need each other to get through tonight's episode, because there's going to be 2 veto competitions. But we'll also get some blindside stuff potentially. We're honestly, it's like a 90-minute episode, but it's probably still going to end on a cliffhanger. Because I think they've been doing the cliffhangers because the veto ceremony happened yesterday, and so like trying to edit that into the episode by tonight is tough. I think that's why they're doing cliffhangers, so we might still get a cliffhanger even with I think it was originally 75 minutes. I think they changed it to 90 minutes. I'm not sure. I don't really care.
Yeah. It's a 2-hour episode, right?
Well, no, I think it's like an hour and a half maybe.
episode,
But yes. So listen, we'll find out. Maybe it'll be a cliffhanger. Maybe it won't. Either way, we should get some interesting stuff in terms of like the build up for The Blind Side. I feel like the editors, I don't want to say the editors, the producers who instruct the editors, like often will put more effort into the episodes when they feel like there's something dramatic that's going to happen. So, given that we have this dramatic buildup for The Blind Side, I'm hoping that they put a little more effort into the episode, especially since they have more time to do so. Also, but we'll see. Could be interesting. Of course, we'll be live tonight as well to recap it all on the podcast. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother 25 live feeds. There's still definitely options for this vote to flip. Cory could change tactics, or there could be more movement in the anti-Matt and Jag direction, and they could just decide screw it and just go for it. Who knows? But we'll see, and you'll find out tomorrow. And then, of course, tomorrow there's also going to be a Survivor episode. I'll be watching that live. It's talking about 90 minutes. And then an eviction on Thursday. So tune in for it all. And of course, if you haven't gotten tickets yet, make sure you check out the tickets for the live show in LA. There's gonna be lots of Survivor players there, lots of brother players there, lots of podcasters there,
we'll be there,
including Chantele and myself. And we're gonna have a great time over in LA. So make sure you tune in for or check those tickets out and come and say hi to us in person, where we have legs and stuff. So check all it out. Chantele, what do you got going on?
I'm just hanging out on Instagram at ChanFriendFran. I've been trying to save my Twitter lately, so at Chan____Fran if you want to kind of interact with me on Twitter. And I have a YouTube channel, Reality Realness with 3 S's. Right now, we're finishing up coverage on the Challenge USA Season 2. We got one more episode there, and probably a ton of other shows that I'm forgetting about right now that we're talking about. So just come hang out, ring the bell, and interact with us live.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today, and I will see all of you next time.